things I need to do first. So, but if I drop out, I apologise. Now, in the people in my chat, am I not deafening yet? I'll just have to be quiet.
Slide that little slidey bar down, Martin, on the OBS where you're talking.
I've done that. Yeah, I've done that. I'm lower than you guys on there.
That's about right.
Put it a little bit lower.
Perfect. Go lower. Go low.
Yeah.
Still loud.
Good evening, everyone. We'll get ourselves sorted out eventually.
Oh, that's all right. Right. Good evening. Welcome to episode 31 of the Plastic Crack podcast. Above me is Martin Son and Ste trying to sort his audio.
Hello.
To my diagonal is Dom from Boots on the Table.
Hello.
And to my right is Steve from On Point HQ with the brush in his mouth. He's a pain eater, yeah.
He's a serial pain eater. Paint eater.
Yeah, so, yeah, well,
fine. There we go. Good.
Yeah, there we go. Now you're fine. Beautiful. Right, so guys, welcome. Thank you for joining us again on a Monday night. It's lovely to have you all with us. If you want to get talking in all of our chats, please do. Questions from the community are highly welcome, and yeah, we'll do our best to answer them. Steve, I can see some really nice plastic models behind your head, mate. Or like boxes.
Oh, that's my...
Is that your
that's my stash corner.
I've never noticed that before. You've always tactically hid it behind your head. So yeah, happy days.
No,
I like how you got it by the window, so that anyone who might steal your house, if they're not into wargaming, they're just gonna like steal your house, steal stuff from your house. They look at it and go, nah.
That's just plastic crap. We won't leave that.
Yeah.
This guy's quite clearly deranged. Let's leave him alone.
Oh dear.
Oh dear.
Welcome. Hi, Culloden. Hi, mate. Battle Knights. Jason, thanks for the shout out on the channel. Jason did a shout out on his channel today for us all for this podcast, so thank you for that. And Paul's painting shade as well.
Go on, mate. Go on. Yeah,
that's it. That's right at the moment. Paul's Painting Shack. That's our mate Paul.
That's Paul Richardson.
Paul Richardson. He's renamed his YouTube channel to Painting Shed because he's doing commission work, I believe.
Oh, nice one. Yeah. Oh, nice. I've got imaginary conflicts I've never seen in the chat before. So welcome, buddy. Nice to see you in there. So you got anyone you want to shout out to, Martin?
Yeah, we've got Ewan and Aaron Lowe, the evil Jim Reaper. I'm sure we're going to come on to Jim later. Peter Little, Graham Fennell, Bill Roy, Leslie's popped in, says hello Hayley, and then hello Martin. So yeah, Hayley's actually around tonight. She's not off Pokemon hunting. Matt Mail's here. Miller Miniatures here. Christoph Geldhoff, Damjan's here. Phil from Wargamers Anonymous is here, and he says he's on time. Unbelievable. Hello, mate. Constable Grey and Medieval Warrior are here as well.
Oh, fantastic. Good collection of reprobates.
Hello, everybody.
Wicked. So, guys, what you've been doing this week? Let's start with Steve. Let's go with Steve.
More Germans.
one day, do you know what? You'll say something like, "I've been working on some biblical stuff," or something like that.
Something really weird going on.
No, the Winter Germans have. Yeah, I've almost finished it. I'm working on the last batch tonight, and then after that, it's going to be those display bases. I loved those display bases. Work on them. That was a lot of fun.
Nice.
Yeah.
A bit fiddly and time consuming. I think I went through in making those two. I went through 5 albums and about 6 cups of coffee. It was brilliant. A great way to spend a day.
Nice one, mate.
But this is my first ever painted British Napoleonic figure, and I speed painted it in the way that I normally paint bolt action figures, and it worked. I'm quite proud. I'm quite chuffed. Whether I'll paint the others, I'm not quite sure, but I'm really tempted to paint the remaining 4 just to see if I can harness the power of speed painting for Napoleonic. I can't seem to do it with my French.
You're not taking part in NI Miniatures challenge to speed paint a British infantryman in, was it in 2 minutes or something stupid?
8 minutes.
8 minutes.
8 minutes?
Yeah.
Napoleonic.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should, yeah.
He's got a challenge going.
There's only one way I'd be able to do that. There's only one way I could do that, and it would involve Martin's snow product.
I've been using that a lot.
I'll be honest, Steve. I think even then, mate, you're going to struggle.
Yeah, but he wouldn't care by the end of it.
I wouldn't care.
Mate, that's
I'd be off for
I'd
be off for a 10-mile run afterwards.
That's what he needs for his French, isn't it? That's what you need for your French, Steve. That's what you got to do, mate. Just use Martin's snow product. It'll be fine.
I love how you say Martin's snow product. It's not like I make this stuff.
I'll tell you what, that'll be an interesting how I paint the video, wouldn't it?
What was all that like? What was all that paste on, like in that bucket? Then when I came round that time, what was all that for? That white paste.
This is degenerating really early in the show.
I was wondering what you were talking about then. That was something else. That was a side project, Ken. You saw the area I lived in, right?
Oh my god.
So just to sum up, Germans. Let's move on to someone else.
Yeah,
just Germans.
Go.
Just Germans. I'm getting guns. Just loads of guns. I seem to have been doing this week. I don't know why. I did some more French. Well, they're not obviously French because I don't do French. These are more Cleveberg guns, Victrix ones that I did. Because I realised the guns I'd done already for my project. Well, it's Martin's fault because he said he doubles every battery up in black powder when he's playing full size. And I thought, yeah, you're probably right. And I'd only done one gun for my Cleveberg. So I thought I'll do two. Also because it's not terribly practical with the individually based guns. So I've done them. And I did a British gun as well because I realised I didn't have enough British guns. So British horse gun.
All the cannons.
So 3 cannons this week, plus I've also done 6 cavalry for, I can't remember what the regiment is, but it's another Confederacy, the Rhine regiment, obviously, which was brigaded with the Cleveberg Lancers, who you would have seen I finished the other week, so all good. Apparently your mic is a bit quiet now, Martin, so according to Peter. No, it's what Peter's just said in my chat.
You can turn him up. You can turn him up though, Dom.
Yeah, but I don't want to. That's the thing. Oh, do I have to? All right then.
There
we go. Let me do his picture. There we go. I'll up my volume. There you go. There you go. Tell us whether that's any better, guys. So yeah, all good. It's been a good week actually for painting. Lots of figures, and Ken came over and we had a game on Friday, and
yeah, it was a good game.
And now he's told me I've got to rebase all my American Civil War figures, so that's what I'm busy doing tonight.
Oh yeah, you doing? Yeah, you doing it? Are you done?
That's what I'm doing.
Fair play, mate. Fair play. You kept to it. Nice one. Yeah. No, it's nice, isn't it? Sometimes you just need that little bit of motivation for it, and there you go. You've been wanting to do that for ages, haven't you?
It was actually a really.
Motivation is you.
I'm going to say sometime. Yeah. You're not allowing him in the future, but no, it's actually, I'm going to say this, a very rare thing. Ken came up with a really good idea, and I thought, you know what? That's a really good idea. I'll do that. He said, while you're sitting there in these 2 hours on a Monday, why don't you rebase them? And I thought, yeah, that's a really good idea. So that's what I'm doing, because it's the most tedious thing in the world, rebasing. What would you say?
Do you know what I'd have said to him? No, I'd have said, I'll tell you what, how about when you're sitting there for those 2 hours, you rebase them for me?
Brilliant.
It's not a bad shout. But yeah, no, that's good. What about you, Martin? What have you been doing?
I didn't get a great deal done because work's been mental and my little girl's not been very well. But I did get my elephant finished. There he is, with his little... cadre of skirmishers supporting him. And I took some inspiration from you, Ken. I didn't put him facing directly forwards on the base. I did him at a bit of an angle. So I could, I don't know why, I thought Ken did it and it looked all right. So I put him at a slight angle. So
it's dynamic.
Yeah, it's a dynamic elephant.
He looks like he's in motion.
It's it's a lovely kit. I think that's my favourite Victrix kit that I've done. I think it's gone together the best as well out of all the Victrix kits I've done. No, I really enjoyed doing it because I was actually dreading it a bit. Paint
job's on it's lovely, mate. Paint job is lovely.
Yeah, it does look good.
Nice.
Really nice.
Cheers. I'm going to be doing a painting video for the next one. I was umming and ahhing, but then it came together quite well. And then I was using the snow product.
I'll be honest with you, mate. I'll be honest with you, yeah.
Yeah.
That's probably one of the nicest pieces I've seen. Honestly, mine. That's really
thank
nice.
you very much. I wonder where that was
Especially
going then, but thank you.
Especially with the snow, mate. Honestly, the snow does make it completely. Where you've got the odd bit grain, where that snow actually grains up, and it's really good for that.
Yeah, it's taken a little bit of trial and error to get the stuff to kind of do what I want it to do, and you basically you just got to be patient with it and just layer it up, and it looks a lot better. So you make a kind of a paste first of all. Speaking of paste, and you then you put that on, let that sort of cure a little bit so it forms a skin, and then you can start pushing footprints and stuff into it. And then you can sort of manipulate it a little bit so you can move it about, and then you can put another layer on and just slowly build it up. But I really like it. I'm quite sold on it. I want to get the fine stuff though, so I can actually do it over terrain properly. Because this stuff is, yeah, like you say, it's got a bit more of a grain to it, but you can get like a more of a fine powder as well.
Yeah,
I do like also where you put that that stuff, the one that I can't remember which one it was, the liquid one that you tested on the tank, and you put it on the howder and stuff on the elephant. That looks really good.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to go.
It's
and get
getting
some.
to that point where you're. Yeah. It's getting to that point where you're like, I think how much is too much? I've done enough now, and you don't want to do a little bit more. So I kind of got to the point and said I like it now, and I think if I do any more on it, I'm going to wreck it. So I
think that's the danger with something like that, isn't it? You could really easily overdo it, and then it would look too much. But actually, I think you got it about right.
No, nice. No, I enjoyed it.
Yeah, no, it's good, mate. I think personally, you got it spot on. I was like, yeah, that is pretty freaking cool.
All right, cheers. Well, I've got to have an elephant. I think I might. I needed to check the army list because I just had a funny thought, because I want to do a large contingent of Gaulish allies, and they have chariots in Victrix. So I was just wondering if I could do some snowy chariots. Hang on, let me just see if they're in the army list. Yes, they are. Snowy chariots it is.
There you go.
There we go. Chili Gauls on chariots. Very nice.
All in time for Christmas.
All in time for Christmas.
You've got to do one with sort of a Father Christmassy outfit on your chariot, then it could be, your kids would love that.
Yeah.
Too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's it. But no, that's really good, man. You've got to do that. And you played some Lord of the Rings as well, did you?
Yeah, that was a bit of a off the cuff kind of thing. My brother-in-law, it was his birthday, so he does some gaming, and I said, all right, what do you want to play? Because I was like, well, maybe he'll want to play Black Powder, and I can get Black Powder out. But you tell you what, basically, we've spoken about audiobooks before, but they've just re-released the Hobbit audiobook with Andy Serkis actually reading it and doing the Gollum voice and all of that kind of stuff in it. So he said, about Lord of the Rings. So I have played it before, but it was a while ago, sometime last year, and I couldn't remember an awful lot. So I just thought we'll go through the scenarios. It's good. I enjoy it. We have played another game which I filmed, which is the next one, which was a bit of a farce. So I'm kind of in two minds whether or not to put it up. It's going to probably be about 20 minutes long, and that's it.
It is what it is, isn't it? Can't keep the people. Whatchamacallit? You've got to show them. You've got to do it.
It's true. Yeah, I'll pop it. I'll pop it up. No, it's good. I enjoyed it.
I can see Haley got all the luck in that family, though. He didn't have much luck in his dice rolls, did he? At times.
No.
So no. I think I just said it. I kept on going. No, he's dead. No, he's dead. No, he's dead. And then I just when I was editing it, I was like, God, I could actually just cut and paste that.
Yeah. No.
What about you, Ken? What have you done? What's been completed in that front?
Oh my God, I've been building Imperial Guard from Victrix. It's taken me all week. It's only yesterday I actually finished building them all up, and I built the cannon as well. It was a bit of a nightmare, to be honest. Not gonna lie, I don't know what it was. It's just the mold lines. Oh my God, the mold lines. They're pretty. I see what you. They're lovely models. They look really cool now with all the dynamic poses, but clearing the mold lines off was a nightmare. There was some that were like, I don't know, maybe a centimetre high off the model. But you pay next to nothing for so many figures. What do you expect? You don't expect it to be perfect, do you? But yeah, no, they're good. They're really cool now. I've put them together. Steve, I did a kit bash officer.
Really?
I saw that. I saw that on your stream.
Yeah. I put a bearskin head on one of the officer guys, and you had to chop his head off. It's really quite awkward actually, because there's no recess for it. So I had to carve out a recess for the bearskin head. But it's made the two officers different now, which is quite nice. And I've done 4 drummer boys, mate, 2 per battalion.
That's got Steve
They're
quivering.
They're in front of me.
Oh, shit.
They're in front of me now. I'll just show you on my camera. So they're in front of me now. Basically, I'm doing the cannon as well, as you can see.
I mean, you don't really need to do more than that from this distance. I could go, yeah, they look like old guard. There you go, they're blue.
They're blue. Yeah, but I would know. Right, the other thing, right? I got to say, I got these from War Bases, Martin.
Right.
The squares. Okay. I thought they'd pop out. They're laser cut MDF, but
I don't know. What am I looking at? Square. It looks like it's a.
them.
Hey.
See,
All right.
See the square in
Yeah,
the
they
middle?
should pop out.
Yeah.
No, it don't. Look at the back.
You've got
Gone all the
40
way
ones.
Oh.
You've got 40 ones.
I've never used those type of bases. Yeah, I've never used those type. Anything I've got from before that's a Sabbath base though, it always pops out. I think you might have a bit of a dud.
I've got 8. I've got 10 of them.
I think you better send them back.
Yeah, you got 40 ones there, definitely.
I might send an email because. But to be fair, I don't mind actually, because it actually makes a bit more room for actually for the crew. So it's not that much of a drama, to be fair. There's a bit more room for them to fit on, but yeah, I'm gonna do 3 guns. I decided finally how I'm gonna do my brigade. So I'm gonna do 4 regiments, so line regiments, 3 cannon, a colonel per brigade. That's how I'm gonna do it.
How are you going to field that that cannon? Are you doing that as 3 cannons to a battery, or are you going to do 2 cannons to a battery and 1 half battery?
3 for battery. And then if I do a half battery, I'll just do 1 or 2 guns, depending if there's room. I just won't do 3.
See, that's the only part where I think that, again, we talked about artillery where black powder falls down. That's a lot of models to paint for relatively crap stats, and something that's pretty ineffectual. So you're gonna paint.
To be fair, the cannon. To be fair though, the cannon are. I quite like the look of them. To be fair, they're quite easy to paint, isn't they? Especially the carriages. They're quite easy.
They look good on the table too, don't they? But
it does look good.
They are naff.
But you might as well just buy 1 more gun. Say that 2 cannons are a battery and have 2 batteries next to each other.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Yeah, but that means I've got to buy loads of plastic.
Well, you can just buy 1 metal cannon. I've got a metal cannon somewhere.
Yeah,
Just depends if you want to mix manufacture. Yeah. Sorry, no, I'm not doing anything like that. They look cool, and I think 3 gun batteries look cool if you've got the space and the thing. But like we were talking about the other week about space on the table. Again, that's quite a lot of space to roll 1 dice.
Yeah.
When you've got a battalion that takes up probably an equivalent amount of space, firing with more.
Yeah, you might want to think about that. I'm not sure that's 3
Because
seems too many.
the Russian gun batteries have they're double size, aren't they, or something similar like that?
Yeah, position batteries, aren't they? Yeah, they're much bigger.
Yeah, so
because they actually were double batteries.
Not what anyone. But yeah, you might just if you add 1 gun in and say it's 2 to battery, then you sort of doubled the effectiveness, and it still looks really cool because you've got more guns.
Yeah, true, very true. But that is how I'm going to run with it. I'm looking for. I've got another thing. Bloody bases for these kernels. I found that from Games Workshop. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's quite a fair size base. If I put a miniature on it, you'll see it's big enough for a kernel. Yeah. That's about the size I want. I ordered I ordered some more of these from War Bases, and I got the wrong size, didn't I? I got the 100 by or 17. No, 100 by 20 or 30 mil. They're really small builds. They're tiny, and I got no use for them. But yeah, but apart from that, no, it's been an interesting week. But that's pretty much me. You've just been crying by putting these old guards together. But I'm glad I've done it now.
Ken,
I can't wait to get them painted.
That story just reminded me of the Stonehenge scene from This Is Spinal Tap. I don't know why.
Someone on his just said, I share with you the pain with the Victrix Imperial Guard. He looked at them and just decided to paint his Scots Greys instead. God, that must have been bad.
God blimey, they're not that bad, surely.
No, I thought they were easy. Those ones, I really did.
No, they're 2 arms.
Yeah.
Head, backpack.
Yeah. That's it, isn't it?
No,
and a body. Body, 2 arms, head, and the backpack. So it's 5 parts.
Yeah, or no. I like one. One pieces are nice.
Oh, I really, I know you did one the other week, but please, can you just film yourself putting together those British? Please.
Not till next year.
Even if you just speed it up like some kind of ridiculous Benny Hill kind of thing, it would be amazing.
You
really want to see him suffer, don't you?
Yeah, he does.
I just want because I'm enjoying his little Napoleonic journey, and I've gone through it all, and Dom, you have as well, and Steve's finding it now as well, and I didn't have anyone to sort of laugh at the time in a nice way. So now that you're going through it 5 years after me, I'm quite enjoying this.
I think that's good somehow. I think there's a compliment somewhere.
Yeah, somehow, yeah.
Oh no, I think what you're doing with them is amazing. I think you're painting out wicked. I like you discovering these little things, because I keep on thinking, oh yeah, I probably should have told him that, or oh yeah, there's a way around that, but I don't remember until you've.
I normally ask you.
To be fair, you do. You do.
Oh, Ken, you got to wear your bloody jumper again. I'm getting so much grief for these headphones that I'm wearing tonight. It's all been started by Peter Little going on about what colour they are. And now they reckon they match my hair colour. So now the whole conversation about Gresham 2000. It's like, what the fuck? Thank you, guys. No. And no, Paul, I'm not a Old Spice kind of guy. I'm that Lynx for men, because women jump at you, apparently.
Yeah, it's never worked for me.
Never works.
Biggest case of false advertising.
Yeah, no, that's it. But now on a serious note, I'm painting up the cannon tonight, and I'm just painting the brass guns, to be honest. And then what I'll do is I'm going to go back to the old guard, and I'm just dry brushing, because I'm basically following your tutorial on mine, but with different colours. So you used Army Painter Ultramarine. I'm using Citadel.
Oh yeah.
McCrag Blue spray. Then I've used Blue Tone from the Army Painter as my blue wash. But what I'm going to do, a different step to you, is I'm just going to I'm dry brushing French Blue from Vallejo Model Air.
Yeah.
Over that once it's dry, just to bring out a different blue.
So I would probably do things a little bit different now, to be honest. But, yeah.
Yeah, and then I'm gonna do that dry brush, and then I'm gonna just basically follow your thing, because it's all the same, isn't it? The guard. That was my second video, and I think it might be my most viewed one. And I did that without a camera stand, without a tripod. I blue tacked my phone to some paint pots. I just built up loads like a little Lego paint pot kind of wall, and then balanced my phone on it, which was great until I came to do the flesh and realised that the flesh colour was one of the paint pots that I'd used. That's always a bit of a pain in the arse, but yeah, no, these Victrix guns are very good, because you get, like I said, you get both options. You get the howitzer and you get the 6-pounder cannon, which is nice, because, like I say, I'm going to try and magnetise it. I was trying to find my magnets, and I just can't find them anywhere, but it's not a drama, because I can magnetise it after I've painted everything. So then they just clip into place, and then I've got howitzers and I've got the cannon as well. But I'll tell you what, there is some nice kits out there. So I want to do middle guard and young guard as well, like I was saying before with the stream, just something a bit different, because I think 4 units of old guard is a bit too much, and I don't want to put those Victrix.
So you're just going to do a guard division, basically?
Yeah, yeah, because at the end of the day, I've got 4 normal I've got 3 line battalions plus a light, plus a light battalion. So that'd be 1-1. And I'm basically working out the flags. Do you know the flags from GMB?
Yeah.
I've got both packets of those. So they're going to be, so 2 packets of them are going to be the first brigade.
Yeah.
And then the guard, I'm just going to go 2 old guard, 1 middle, 1 young. Then I've got everything. Do it like that for the 2nd brigade. But then the 3rd brigade, I'm going to do Italians. So I've already got 1 battalion of Italians already. Or I could do 2 battalions of Italians and then maybe 2 battalions of Swiss or something like that, you know?
Yeah. That's what I've done, isn't it? I sort of made a foreign allied brigade.
Well, that's it. But I might not even go Swiss because I could. Who else could I go with? That's a bit. I could go. Oh, what are they called? The ones with the striped trousers. Nassau?
No, Nassau green.
No.
Who am I thinking of? Naples. What about Naples? Is it Naples?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Neapolitan troops.
I know they're early, don't get me wrong. Yeah. Yeah, I could go with like a battalion of them, I don't know, just something a bit different, you know?
Can't you just use the bodies and swap the heads for something else? Because they're wearing big great coats, aren't they?
No, they're proper like dress uniform.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that's why I thought Italians would be easy, because paint them there was a piece of piss really. It was spray grey, go over with the white, and then it was just block the colours in. I'd definitely do that differently now though, because I would I'd put the wash on before I started blocking the colours, so that gives the white a more distinct tone to see where it is, and do it that way round. But yeah, no, it's alright. Like this cannon now, I've just go on.
So that just reminds me of something I was just going to ask you. I was going to discuss with the crew here, because it was something you told me the other night that I thought was incredibly controversial. That you don't varnish your figures.
No, unless they're metal, and I remember.
He doesn't varnish his figures.
Do you not? Do you not even just not even a quick matte varnish?
Not my plastics. No, why would I do that for?
Paint can still come off.
I don't varnish mine either.
Do you not either?
I've
Wow.
No.
Yeah, look, here you go. Look at this. Oh, where is it? I've got a bottle here somewhere. Where is it? There it is.
I varnish everything I produce. Metal, plastic, resin, all varnished.
I varnished those casualty markers. They got varnished because they're going to get chucked about. But again, I will. That is one thing that really does annoy me. I've got to admit, some of my metals they chip because I haven't varnished them. But I have varnished some. But I need to spend a day. I need a whole day to go through and get them all out and spray everything that's metal. So that'll take up a hobby day. That will literally take up a day. Maybe after this, what I'll do is get the airbrush out with the old varnish here and just go through everything I've got and varnish it up. Maybe that's the way to do it.
I just like securing down all the basing material.
Well, that's what I said. That's what I do. Yeah, it just settles it all down and it gives that, flat color, straight color that you know is going to be safely protected, and I don't have to worry too much about wear and tear during the day. And I just felt
the only figures I've the only figures I've ever varnished is when I painted the starter box for Strontium Dog. I don't know why, because they're all metal, and you know me and metal miniatures, we just don't get along. Because the entire box is metal. I just once I paint them, I varnished them because they're going to be handled a lot more than regular gaming figures, because it's you only have a few figures per side, and it's quite a small game. So I think they're going to get handled a lot more than other figures. So, but yeah, I don't ordinarily varnish anything.
Plastics, I've never varnished ever. I will never varnish. I can't see the point of varnishing plastics. I've never chipped a plastic model, and I've never lost any basing stuff of a plastic model. So I've never had that issue. Especially with contrast.
It's never occurred to me not to varnish. It's never ever occurred to me. It's like that's just part of the production.
It doesn't. You don't lose anything for doing it. I just like adding a bit of extra. No, it doesn't do anything bad to the model. Just adds a bit of extra factor just because you need it.
I was just
agreed. So
Jason
metal's
Black
definitely-
Battle Knight says he doesn't do it either. I'd love to put in the chat whether you do or don't, because I'd love to.
Yeah,
do a little
Yeah,
thing.
go on, get
I'm
in the chat,
fascinated.
guys, Let's know
Someone's
if you varnish.
There's
Do
been
you
a bit of a
varnish?
chat here. Someone, so Testudo Maximus, that's amazing, man.
What a good name.
He says he's bought boxes and boxes of Victrix to provide his own force of black powder, but then gave up halfway through and went straight to Warlord Games and Perry's and saved himself the headache of assembly. Got them all assembled and painted in half the time if he'd stuck with Victrix, because he just wanted an army. I get that. I can understand that. And then Ewan and Aaron Lowe said, I don't know why everyone hates Victrix. I've just got lots of them, and they're very nice, except for the mould lines and the amount of parts and how annoying some parts are. Oh, yeah. Now I see the problem. That's the thing, is that I think the end result is amazing. Don't get me wrong, these Carthaginians, I'm loving. I love the end result. And the elephant, the newer kits. Dom, you said that the Lancers, the new Lancers, went together really well, didn't you?
Yeah, they were really good.
So the newer stuff, I think maybe the newer stuff, the newer kits, maybe stuff, because the old guard and some of the older ancient stuff, they are some of the first things they produced when they were actually in cardboard boxes.
Well, the Lancers went together beautifully. I've had no problem with them at all. They were really nice and easy to model. The Germans that I did previously for the Infamy Army, they likewise were really easy to put together. So I think probably you're right. The newer ones are better. Because I don't. It's funny you talking about this last week, and I thought I don't recognise that because the only Victrix I've done have been fantastic. So I think it probably is newer figures.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong. I think it's bloody amazing how you get 18 different heads. That's just that's awesome.
Never seen something. I mean? Yeah.
Never seen.
Yeah. No, I do think that's really cool. No, I do. And I've got the thing is with this elephant kit, I've got Numidian and Roman bodies now and Roman heads, so I can do. I was thinking of even doing a Roman armored body with a Carthaginian helmet on it, a Numidian body, which I can mix in with my skirmishers.
Yeah.
It's quite a lot. I've even got half. I might try and do some elephant casualty markers. Because you get two halves, you get 3 parts of the elephant. So I've got these. Look, I'd have to try and green stuff a trunk, but if I can sort of press that into the snow and have sort of a half an elephant,
you could have a dead Roman where the trunk
that would
was.
look really cool. That would look so
brilliant.
good.
Brilliant.
Yeah,
love it.
Yeah, that's it. On the varnishing front, what do we got? Constable Gray says he only varnishes resin and metal. Ewan and Aaron Lowe doesn't varnish anything. Okay, there's another one. Owen Douglas doesn't bother. Okay. Nick Games says he even puts varnish on his toothbrush. Jim Reaper varnishes everything because of the basing.
It's not advised, children. Not advised.
And then Matt Mail varnishes. It seems about a 50-50 split.
Yeah, I think I've got about the same. I've got, apart from Jason Battle Knight says he doesn't varnish plastics. Paul says he varnishes contrast or it'll rub off over time. That's an interesting point. Yeah, because it's quite thin, isn't it? Rorik Culloden Painting says, I always varnish, protects the paintwork, plus brings the finish together as the reflectivity of all the paints will be the same and really improves the dry brush finish. I tend to agree, mate. That's why I do it. Lupus says he varnishes everything he paints, mini-wise. Not the shed, then. Paul says he varnishes. Peter says he varnishes. Leslie says he varnishes every time gloss first and then finishes with a matte, and always uses an artist acrylic. There you go.
I use gloss varnish if I'm going to do an oil wash, do like a pin wash or something over it. I'll use gloss varnish then, but that's not very often, to be fair. Someone in the chat has just said Owen Douglas said he's seen it go wrong. I've had it go wrong.
Definitely goes wrong.
Very nearly cried.
Yeah, especially spray can ones, which is what I use. If it isn't the right temperature and hasn't had a decent shake up, you can get a really nasty cloudy effect on your figures, which I have had, and it does make you cry. Yep. So you have to learn that over experience, especially at this time of year. Make sure they're really warm, the cans. Don't heat them up on the stove or anything stupid like that, but just
put them in hot water.
A sink of hot water and just pop them in it. That's fine, and then give them a really good shake, and they're fine.
5 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, 5 minutes and then 5 minutes and 5 minutes of each. You can't go wrong. 5 minutes in the hot water and 5 minutes shaking. You
Agreed.
Can't go wrong.
Agreed.
100%.
And then you're fine.
But Steve Reese does 6 mil, so he's a good fan. And he says he varnishes all of that because you pick up the figures, not the bases.
Yeah. That's a good point with 6 mil.
Good way to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's also for multi-basing as well. I find you tend to do that.
That's true.
Because if you've got
Cannon, I'd pick up. Yeah, Cannon, I'd pick up the Cannon. Yeah, you're right.
especially with this thing here, I find it quite hard to get my whole around the base to move it on. So that elephant's it's going to be pulled by his trunk, I think, quite a lot. Yeah. Ow.
That was a nice controversial topic, Dom.
Well, I was genuinely gobsmacked. Yeah, it just because it never occurred to me not to varnish. It was like that.
You come from the day where it was all metal, though, Dom.
Well,
lead,
exactly.
lead.
It was always metal figures, and it was always enamel paints, and which chipped off so easily. If you didn't varnish them, they were even when you did varnish them, they still chipped off a lot of the time. So yeah, I guess that's probably true. But yeah, it genuinely never occurred to me, so I just thought I'd ask the question. But it's interesting, so 50-50 here, and probably in the chat, maybe a slight erring on more varnish than not, but not much though. Yeah. Not much at all.
I like Little Legion's comment here, which I think is quite good. It probably closes off the whole thing. It just says, spray can varnish is just the work of the devil.
Yeah, okay.
I'll be honest, one of the reasons I don't is for that reason. That I'm terrified of spending hours on a decent paint job and then completely obliterating what I've done with shonky or dodgy varnish spray. So, it's just never something. I mean, in over 30 years, I've never really varnished anything.
That's weird. Well, good.
Isn't it? It's each their own. I won't varnish plastics. I can't see the point. Unless what I do is I varnish one of my Napoleonics, I guess, and then just see what it looks like to see if it looks better, if I can tell the difference. And if I can and it looks nicer, then yeah, I'll probably varnish it. But if I can't, then I won't bother. But you lot, well, Dom, you especially, you finish off with a dry brush, don't you?
Yeah, generally.
I very rarely do a dry brush.
I think that's partly because sometimes I do get a little bit of a shine, particularly on resin or plastic figures. I get a little bit of a shine with the varnish, and I just find that just dulls the colours down. I quite like my figures being a little bit dulled down. Although I'll do them in parade outfits, I like them to look a little bit worn in. So I just find that dry brush afterwards takes a little bit of the shine off if there is, and also just puts that little bit of grubbiness without being too grubby, if you know what I mean.
Now, here's another controversial subject.
Oh God.
Do you get, right, here you go. Do you get? No, it's not bad. It's about painting again. Do you, after you've done so my general tactic, especially with these, right? So especially with these Napoleonics, this is how I paint. So that's it. I won't bother going in and layering. So, after the wash, people go in and layer, pick out individual bits to buff it up. I'll put all the base layers on, then I'll put one wash over it. The only exception to that is the flesh. I will go in with the flesh and I'll put a second tone on the flesh and I'll do the eyes. But with the uniforms and that, I don't go in and layer. Do any of you do layer painting all the time religiously? I might do it if it's like a command.
Napoleonics, do you mean?
Or just anything. Anything in general. What's your general?
It depends. It depends on the quality of the model and the sculpt. For me, if the model's got loads of details, like my Wild West Exodus models, I spent probably, I don't know, maybe 10 hours a model on those. So I layered up every.
How many did you have?
About 10.
So it's about 10. So if you had a project of 100, would you layer them?
No, that's a difference piece. So I mean, I'm layering now because I'm doing these Libyan infantry, and they've just been undercoated white, then apothecary white, then I'm picking out, because the problem with white armour, when you've got white tunics and white armour, I want there to be some difference between them.
Yeah.
So they've got these little sort of scale dress skirt things at the bottom. I don't know what that's called. That sort of leather strapping. So I picked those out with just a quick highlight. So when I put the wash over it, they will have a slightly different tone, just so that there's a bit of difference. But not for like I guess batch painting. Guess not.
No,
really.
No. Because there are some people I gather out there that do that. That will.
Some people, if they're better painters, I think definitely would do. For people who really spend a lot of time on their figures, they layer everything, they'll blend everything. But it depends, doesn't it? If you're doing, like you say, if you're doing batch painting or large numbers of troops, it's not really that time wise, shall we say, to do it. Yeah, time efficient.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people who do it for the sort of like the front rankers. If they're doing, an infantry regiment battalion, they'll do the front rank and they'll put a lot more effort in on those just to make, and then the rest of them they'll do just sort of standard colours, or just the officers sometimes.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I think I might do the command bases. I might do layer, just to make them pop for like the colonel and stuff like that, just so they stand out a bit more.
I'm too lazy, frankly, to do all that.
Yeah,
I know from laziness. I just want to paint. I just want to get more painted. I just want to see more painted.
Well, that's exactly me. I just want to get them out the door. So as long as they look how I'm happy with, then I'll move on to the next thing. I'm not.
Yeah.
If I'm painting bolt action, what I tend to do is, because I normally batch paint between 5 and 10. Usually it's German as well. So they get bastard with either Agrax or Strong Tone. But I will go in and pick out highlights, but I don't go over the top. It literally is the upper highlights.
Yeah.
And it's very, very quick. I don't really spend that amount of time highlighting. I think because I like my Germans to look really kind of a bit dull and drab. I think masses of highlights would sort of defeat that. Yeah, so all I do is I add a drop of sunny skin tone to all the sort of the primary colours that I've used, and literally just very, very basic upper highlights. So on these great coats that I'm painting now for the winter ones, it's just literally a couple of highlights over the folds in the material. Yeah. But that's about it. I don't want to spend hours, because at the end of the day, the gaming pieces. So I don't really want to spend hours now. But I know what, Martin, you're going about your Wild West Exodus. Because when I painted my starter box, I spent ages on them. I really did spend a lot of time painting them.
Yeah. Yeah, Matt Mayles just said in here that it depends upon the period. Yeah. That's quite true as well, because he said he's done an English Civil War and wants them to look dirty and grimy. But what about if you think of like say Leon's Landsknechts? Sure. Yeah, he's highlighted up all those. Would they be the same? You'd need them that bright. I mean, if you wax just Agrax over all of that, you just wouldn't. No. It just wouldn't be the same.
It wouldn't work, would it?
I think there's something there. It's if you've got these, or like Ottoman armies. There's all these amazing sort of colours that you could do for them as well, for like the 30 Years War period. Yeah. That would be awesome as well. Jim Reaper said that he does it, but only for characters. So for those X4 things that you want to pop, I guess.
Agreed.
Yeah, because I understand that. Yeah.
Battle Knight says he does every man like a champion. That's why he's got no fully painted armies. Yeah, that's true. And Paul says faces and bases. That's and I think that's probably true.
Yeah, faces. Yeah, faces.
Yeah.
I think you spend a bit of extra time on the face, it can change your miniature. Definitely.
I do a lot on. I probably do too many layers on faces, to be honest, for what the end is.
But I think the thing is, again, get back to encouraging people to start the hobby and get in it. You can get. It's how you feel comfortable with it, and whatever you feel happy with your figures. Some people love.
Totally.
My mate Nick, who just absolutely was. I mean, he's been painting a Bavarian army for as long as I can remember. Must be 20 years now, because he's doing every one absolutely beautifully blended and everything. He's only doing it for freaking sharp practice. It's not like it's going to be 1,000 figures. But he's taken forever doing it, and that's what he loves, and it's fantastic. But that doesn't matter, for me. No, get them on the table. Just get them on the
Get
table.
playing.
Oh,
Yeah.
bugger, I've just broken a figure.
Yeah, I
Taking
broke the sword.
Taking figures off bases is a bloody
I will
nightmare.
admit, when I first started painting bolt action, I used to paint on the sprue.
Yeah, I've seen some. I never
Ooh.
get that. I've never understood that because I've seen people do it, but surely when you paint it, but then when you clip it off, there's a
There's
bit
a mark.
that you've got to paint again. Surely.
Yeah.
It dawned on me that I was actually spending more time fixing errors and mistakes after I put it together than I'd actually spent painting on the bloody sprue. It was so counterproductive; it was unbelievable. So that's when I changed my painting thing altogether. So I used to work on one or two at a time to work on complete squads, and I've blasted out so many bolt action armies in that time that I couldn't go. I literally could not go back to painting like that.
No. Batch painting bolt action every day of the week.
Jason says he's currently working on some Numidians, and his skin tone of each man is 5 layers. Holy Christ. Jeez.
Yeah. I'm just thinking about my skin tone. My skin tone's 4 layers for basic stuff. I'll do 4.
Really?
3 or 4. Yeah, 3 or 4.
No, two.
Well, 3 if I count
3,
priming.
one.
Yeah, exactly. That's ridiculous.
4 if I count priming.
I admire people who put the time in on it, but...
Wow. Yeah, I do 4. But Steve's just said in my chat, he said just quickly about the varnish, he just wants to know what you guys do. He said, what varnish do you actually use physically? What brand? Is it matte, spray, and what company do you use? Is there a specific one?
I'm going to get shot. I have genuinely found the best varnish is the GW one.
Ooh.
I think the Miniature, because it's matte but with just a hint of like a satin in it, like it's not totally, so the armor doesn't get so dulled down that it's I did it for my Wars of the Roses stuff. I tried lots of different ones, and I thought it just dulled it all too much, and I tried that one because my mate had it, and then the armor still had a bit of a shine to it. So
it is, yeah, it's the same as me. I've got that, but I've got that airbrush one that I'm going to try, so I'll give it a go, and that's from MiG anyway. But yeah, normally it was the Citadel Rattle Cam for me. But what about you, Don?
I use primarily Army Painter, whatever it's called, the matte varnish
the dull coat one.
The dull coat, yeah. Which
that's the one I had a bad, like, ruined some of my models, so I sort of.
Well, I was going to say I genuinely, I like the coverage of it. I think it's a really good effect on it. It works perfectly, but you do have to be really temperature conscious with it. It is definitely one of those ones, because I've done it before a couple of times, and like we were saying earlier, I've learned now to if it's like this time of year, before I use it, I'll stick it in a sink of hot water and then really give it a good shake, and then I don't have any problem with it. But yeah, I can see
such
that.
a handy tip. That sticking in hot water is such a handy.
I hadn't even thought of that. I just generally bring them in the living room and put them out of the kids' reach, hopefully, and leave them there. But I don't have thought about putting it in hot water. I'm like,
Don't put it in boiling, but hot, just hot.
Yeah, no. I might have to explain to my wife why there's loads of cans bobbing around in the sink, but
yeah. And why I'm playing with a brush right now, a brush soap. Yes, Mr. Bond.
You got a new box. Sorry, I'm going to finish. You got a new box, didn't you, Ken? That I saw you just fondling.
It's blast from the past, isn't it? Just 2 seconds. Let me just dry my hand.
Was that a spur of the moment thing, or was that just like?
Yeah, it's Steve's fault. Steve, you get
my fault.
Yeah, it's your bloody fault. He goes, oh, I really fancy like the value for the bloody US Paratrooper Airborne starter set. I was like, oh, it's Prime Day. Oh, it's Prime Day. It's cheap. And I was like, can be here tomorrow, but I don't need it till December. Yeah, it's Prime Day. Let's do it. And there's my December. That's my December month is what's in there, because
nothing to do with me.
Yeah, it's all Steve's fault. Blame Steve. But it's that's going to keep me going in December, because I am going to be having over the next, I don't know, next few months it's going to be quite busy for me leading up to work. Because obviously Christmas time everybody's off and it's quite busy in my industry. So I need something a bit simpler, I think. And I'm also trying to save for a house, and that's a good value box set there. And I've been told £20 a month now until I've got my house. So I've got to be on the old tight-fisted side.
Speaking of ball action,
parcels. Yeah, go on.
The good news next year: new plastic British infantry.
Yeah. And commandos.
Apparently, yes.
Yeah. Yes.
To coincide with the Anglo-Canadian book, they're doing new British commandos and new British infantry. So I am one happy chap.
Actually gonna get a British Army Ste, isn't it?
Yes. Oh, it's just so many possibilities. So many possibilities.
Oh, but yeah, guys, feel sorry for me. I can't.
Well, you might be. I don't know if this is. I was on Warlord's website today because I was looking at pike and shot stuff. Thank you, Miller. And I was on their website because they've just redone it, haven't they? And there's this thing on there now. They've done this a couple of times with things, but there's now basically a pay monthly option for things.
Oh, mate,
yeah.
There is, yeah. Yeah.
No,
So,
because I'm trying to get a mortgage. I don't want to be getting credit.
It's like through some Swedish company, so you could still do your £20 a month. You can just buy something for 60. So yeah, I don't know. What do you guys think about that? Because I haven't seen many other companies sort of do that.
Plastic
Credit for miniatures.
credit.
Yeah.
No,
I don't know.
I think it's a bit wrong because you can't really afford it.
They used to do massive box sets, like they'd say just do it in 2 installments. Like I saw it for like the American War of Independence one that was like £400, the big collector's thing. They said you can do it in 2 payments of 200. And I think they've done it for those, but I don't know if you have to like put a certain amount in your basket or what. Can't do it over like.
I think it's £50. I think it's £50, but yeah, no, I don't know. Probably not, to be honest, because it's just a way for people to get in debt, isn't it? And you don't want to get in debt because of your bloody hobby, for Christ's sake.
No, I mean, if you're putting yourself into financial peril for a bit of plastic crack, probably not an ideal route to take.
There's probably support groups. I'm sure people will send you a bloody sprue, for Christ's sake, if you need it that bad.
Well, speaking about sending sprues. Should we have? We got some. We got some presents, didn't we, chaps?
We did indeed.
Some very nice notes as well.
We did. So Jim, who's in my chat from Reaper Games, has sent us all a little goodie box from his shop, which is Reaper Games. I'll pop the link in my chat. Dom's done a. He's got a new retailer, isn't he, for the miniatures for Plastic Crack? Speaking of the people who supply us with art, and basically they're lots of different. I don't want to say variety boxes, but lots of different period boxes containing, So for example, I've got the English Civil War box here, which has got 4 of the pike and shot cavalry from Warlord and a frame of the 13 infantry. So we've got with a couple of these, you've got an infantry regiment and a full regiment of cavalry as well. And Ken, what have you got? The American War of Independence.
So I've basically got a whole muskets and tomahawks course here. You get 12 British Line Infantry, 12 Hessian Infantry, 12 Continental, 12 Woodland Indians, and Warlord Continental Militia. So it is basically muskets and tomahawks. Everything you're going to need. So it's perfect, really. Especially then you don't have to buy all these box sets individually.
You haven't got loads of excess.
Figures you don't actually need. What did you get, Don? Oh, Don, we can't hear you.
You're quiet, Don.
No, he's not quiet. He's muted.
Oh. Da-da-da-da.
Oh no, you're unmuted. Your microphone, Dom. Unmute yourself. You're unmuted. Right, you're unmuted now, but can't hear you. Your mic's like your mic's defunct. Dom is having technical difficulties. Unplug it and plug it back in.
Get back in. What? I think that was directed at you. Oh dear. Steve, what was in your box?
I got a Napoleonic selection of bits and pieces. So I got some French infantry, some British infantry, and 3 lots of Napoleonic cavalry. And these are going to be great for me because I'm new to painting Napoleonics, and it's going to allow me to paint instead of concentrating on the same battalion. I'm going to be jumping around between different nations and different regiments. So yeah, absolutely brilliant. I've not really painted much. Cheers, mate. Really much appreciated.
Yeah. No, thank you very much. So he basically, I've been having a chat with him, and he's from what I understand. First of all, he's a war gamer. He can correct me if I'm wrong because he's in the chat. So if I get this wrong, he can just shout at me down there. But I'll put the link in the chat now to his shop. So go and check it out. But he loves wargaming, and the reason he sort of told me that he started it off, I think he can correct me if I'm wrong, but he basically said that his wife was doing body shop stuff from home, and he kind of felt, how come she can do that from home for something that she enjoys? Why can't I? So he started up this Reaper Games basically retailer, and then did variety boxes because he was looking at getting his nephew into wargaming, but his nephew didn't really know what he wanted to go with. So if you can offer a box that say got French, British, Prussians, whatever, you can have a go, see which ones you like, and then you haven't forked out say 20 quid on some British that then you're never gonna paint, and then you have to resell later, which is, to be fair, what some people have done. And he's told me he's got 3 suppliers. Well, it might have changed actually since he told me this, but he's got 3 suppliers on board at the moment. So I assume one of those is like Warlord Games or something similar, because obviously there's a load of Warlord in there. And he's in talks with others, and he's added CP models. I don't know if you guys have looked at their stuff before, but they've got lots of like fantasy stuff. They've got lots of like generic heads, like generic male beardy heads that you could use on any time period if you wanted to.
Right.
That kind of stuff. But I like them because I think that they're more like building blocks for an army. Because if I for my Wars of the Roses, for example, Jim, if you want to get the Perrys in, that would be wicked. And if you could just sort out the Wars of the Roses stuff first, medievals, that would be wicked. But they basically, take this English Civil War one. You get, the frame of the English Civil War Warlord Infantry and the cavalry. So you can actually build up 2 regiments at the same time. Or your one, Ken, you could, get a couple of those and actually build up the blocks.
Yeah.
But on the website as well, there's the option of customizing a box. Now I've done that on eBay, where I've gone and bought individual sprues because I don't want to fork out. I just don't need all the extra stuff that comes in certain boxes. I don't necessarily want 60 odd miniatures. I maybe only want 24. For example, if it was tricks, maybe you just want to build one unit of Old Guard and not all the others. So I felt it was kind of a neat thing. And also I think he's got like a mix of manufacturers in there. So Dom, I don't know if Dom can actually.
No,
can you hear me now?
I was going to say, Dom,
can you hear me?
You're set. Oh yeah, there you go.
Yeah, through now. Plugging into a USB hub thing, and I think maybe it needs to go directly into the computer because I don't think it liked it. So apologies for that.
What did you get in your box, Dom? Because you did a video on it, didn't you?
I got a whole lot of dwarves. I got dwarves. I got there was some of those new Oathmark heavy dwarves, which I really wanted to see, and they're really nice. I've made them up already actually. And I got some Mantic dwarves as well in there, and a Mantic dwarf cannon with crew, which is going to be great fun. So
you got cannon, didn't you?
I did. I got cannon, so I'm looking forward to playing with that. So I made them all up, or most of them up last night actually. So I might start painting them with a bit of light relief. But yeah, they're good. It's a good little bundle, I think. As you say, it's a mixture between a sort of starter army, and a top-up army, and a taster army. Who knows? I don't know, but it's very clever, and I love the fact you can contact him and get a variety pack. So if you know you want, I don't know, 20 rather than just 5 British infantry, I'm sure he can do it.
So with that box that you got, Dom, you're not going to be getting sick of painting too much, because you only got like a cannon and then something else. I saw an undead box. It's got like, I think it's revenants, then plastic skeletons, and then like a werewolf in there. And for small, you say as well. Actually, he didn't actually ask us to do the shout.
No, he didn't. No.
So,
he didn't.
but I'm risk, because I spend a lot of time scouring eBay for sprues, especially on my Wars of the Roses stuff. Because even though I love the Perrys, I don't always need
the whole box.
The whole box. I just want some Billmen, or I just want a few archers to add on to some things. And I've paid over the odds just for some, when you add the postage for some, sprues. You go back and go, I might as well just bought the box, but I don't actually need those models.
Yeah, but it's handy as well, like you say, Martin, because there might be 3 or 4 different things you need, and you can get all 3 or 4 of those different things in that one place, like in a variety pack, like you were saying, and just pay the one lot of postage, which is even handier.
Yeah, it's a clever idea. It's a very clever idea.
I think you're on. I'm going to be going there, definitely.
So, what other manufacturers have you got on board?
Be all over it.
Yeah, with these Napoleonics, because I'm not a prolific Napoleonic painter, I still like to dabble. So this has given me a great way of painting up, 3 or 4 different things that I wouldn't normally paint up, but I've not got to paint 30 or 40 of them. So no, it's good. It's a great idea, especially if you want to do sort of test painting subjects. Pick a couple of sprues if you like the way they paint up. You can order more. No, I think it's a really fantastic idea.
I tell you what, for diorama creators or people who just like creating, models of things, that'd be really cool, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know what I thought it'd be really good for? RPG players.
Yeah.
People who don't. I play D&D and some other RPGs and stuff as well. But if you were going to do an adventure, you could buy that because they're not hugely expensive. This ECW box, I think he's got in there for £10, and there's nearly 20. I think there's Warlord retail. That's nearly 17-20 quid. The stuff that's in there. But if I was going to go, I say, they're going to have a dwarven adventure and they're going to fight, because I think fights from dwarves. I could buy that box that Dom's got, and you've got cannons. You've got lots of varied types. You never have players, but it's a good little variety pack. You can get that undead one, and you've just got some great models. And RPG miniatures. There's some companies out there that make like Reaper miniatures, Reaper bones, but it's they don't have necessarily the multi-pose variety. And these are obviously the Oathmark stuff, and the Mantic stuff is more multi-pose, isn't it? So you can like top up your toolkit for those kind of games as well.
Yeah.
It'd be handy for bolt action as well, if you could get some bolt action stuff in Warlord.
Yeah, well, there was some German Second World War figures there, weren't there? So he must have some bolt action figures.
Yeah, I think he does a German selection. I think it's a sprue of Fallschirmjäger, Winter, Blitzkrieg, and Grenadier. So that'd be really good if you're a bit undecided about what you wanted to get into for Germans and bolt action. Have a look at the pages, and it'd be great for kit bashing as well.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it would also be perfect for that game you buy, say 2 of those boxes. I think it is. So like, say there's 5 Germans, 5 Brits, 5 Americans, and 5 Russians. You get 2 of those boxes. You've got 4 squads, and you can represent all 4 nations because it's a squad-based level game, and that's it.
Yep,
you're done.
Nice.
Yeah, that's it.
So thank you very much. Go check him out. Have a look on there, and I'm going to be going there because now I can find. Now there's, after these Carthaginians are done, I need to start building up the ECW stuff. So I'm definitely going to be going there and having a look. But Battle Knights has said in here as well to check out Bad Squiddo Games as well. Is that Dice Bag Lady? Is that the same?
It's Annie, isn't it?
She does all the females.
No,
She does all the females.
yeah, I have seen some of their miniatures before, and they were wanting to paint up some female Russian snipers for that Operation Squad game.
Yeah, I've got some of her.
I want the Bad Squiddo Bofors. That my Australian that looks. I know Beckus, he did that. He got the Bad Squiddo Bofors and just changed the crew around. It looks absolutely fantastic. I think another Warlord one looks good, but it looks to me a bit fiddly. But the Squiddo one, I think it's resin, and it looks really, really good.
Yeah, I like that one. That did look good. You're right.
Sorry, that's just reminded me. He did. Jim did have a question. If we could throw it out to people, to people here and to people in the chat as well, which is, if you could design a variety box, what kind of thing would you want in it? I guess for any kind of like level, what sort of stuff would you want in it? Would you want like that broad mix, or would you
want different scales? Would you want 28mm? Would you want 15, 6? Yeah,
it's really difficult, isn't it? Because it depends what you're getting it for. We've just already described a whole load of different scenarios for using it. So yeah, I don't know, if I was buying, I don't know, if I was trying to top up a unit of infantry that I wanted another extra unit, I didn't want to have to go and buy a box, then that would be perfect. But also, like you say, it could be it could be used in a skirmish game or as almost an entire force if it's a small scale game for both sides. So I don't really know. I think the key thing to me is almost to have the variety box where you can pick and choose from a variety of different manufacturers.
Experience. Put in the box whatever you want.
Yeah, because he's got that option. I have to have a look at that and see what we can do. I mean, I think for me, if you've got those kind of variety boxes which are almost little armies, is having some kind of command level option in there, even if it's just a little command frame.
That's true.
Because you get the having, because I think some, like the ECW, I think there's like a little command frame. I need to have a proper check through the box, but if you've got that ability to add that in, then of course you've got you're sort of sold them, because if you can't get a command frame or anything like that, then you'll have to sort of go and get one elsewhere. And if you could get that, I suppose, in that box as well, either add it on as an extra or something like that.
Do you know what, actually thinking about it, that'd be a really useful thing all round, wouldn't it? Just if he did a variety box of, say, Napoleonic British command sprues, because the number of times you buy a pack of figures and you've got too many infantry to form, and you need to buy another command just to make another battalion, because it's set up for, I don't know, say the Perry one, you get 40 figures, but there's only enough commanders for one battalion in there. So if you could go to him and get, an old guard sprue, an old guard, a regular infantry sprue, a Voltiger sprue of officers.
Oh yeah, so like you get the command for the cavalry, basically command for each box set, isn't it? That you can get hold of, maybe.
Yeah.
And then you can choose, can't you?
And Battle Knights.
Command.
Battle Knights just suggested, and maybe the paints to go with them. Might be another way.
That's a good idea. Yeah, an all-in-one
sort of
all-in-one kit.
Core unit with the paints to go with them. That'd be great.
Yeah,
I think for me, what it'd be is with bolt action. So you've got units that you can use in sort of late war, middle war, and early war. So my Fallschirmjäger is set up for late war. But what I want to do is be able to get not have to go out and buy the whole box, but just, I think it's about 8 to 10 miniatures, just so I can give more rifles and turn them into early war Fallschirmjäger. So strip out the assault rifles, and I've got early war then. I think that's the flexibility that I think is really cool, is that you don't need to go out and buy the entire box, and you can have radically different units for your bolt action sections just by picking up a couple of figures.
Yeah. Different types of medievals would be quite cool. Someone said that down here actually.
Try and get Victrix on board, innit? If you get Victrix on board,
if you can get Victrix and break those sets down. So, for example, this the Warriors of Carthage set, right? You get 24. I think you get Libyan veterans, Libyan spearmen, and skirmishers. But do I was looking at this now because I was looking at army building, and do I really want to buy another one and get a whole load more skirmishers and live it? Or I just quite like more veterans. So if you can get the Victrix sets and break those down, I don't know. You know, the same with the Republican Romans. The Republican Romans have got skirmishers, Hastati, Principe, and Triaria, I think, all in one box. So if you can release those frames,
yeah, because it's got a bit silly with some of those. I mean, not silly because they're great value, but you know, some of those packs. If you just wanted 10 figures and there's like 40 come through the post, it's like, oh, for frick's sake, you feel you got to make them up.
He's actually, he's just said Victric has said yes, but he's just waiting for confirmation on whether or not he can break them down.
Ah, cool.
Fingers crossed.
Actually,
that'd be cool. Do you do a service where you'll assemble them first and send them? Judging by the comments on here about assembly, if you did that, like, if you know, £5 or you chuck a charge it, I'll assemble them all for you and ship them. I think, judging by what was in the comments down here, you'll get a whole load of business.
Paul just came up with a great idea. He said, how about game-specific boxes? So like a Muskets and Tomahawks box, Lion Rampant, Men of Bronze, Chosen Men, that kind of thing. I think that's not a bad idea. Not a bad idea at all.
Get one sprue. You could just get 2 sprues of the 95th, couldn't you? And then you could just get a Italian box, would you? Martin, I'm gonna get, when I do the British, I'm gonna do the 95th, but I'm gonna be using them in line instead.
What do you mean use them in line?
I'm gonna use them as a battalion, as a line in battalion, which you can do. It says in the rules I can. You can use them as a battalion. Don't need to use them in skirmish.
Why would you do that?
It's a hell of a lot of points.
They got a longer range.
Yeah, but they can. Yeah, but then they lose they're just easier to hit. You might as well just have all 24 and just do that. They're just easier to shoot if they're not in skirmish formation.
But it looks cool.
It doesn't. They look horrible.
They're better in a skirmish.
Stupid.
Yeah, but the battalion with the Bernard Cornwell book I was listening to said they were formed in line battalions in Waterloo. So most of them.
They weren't. They're in a sandpit outside La Haye-Saint.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah, one battalion was. One battalion was. There were 3 battalions of 95th.
I think they probably. They did form line. You're right. They did form line and fire in that, but because they could only get off 2 shots a minute, they weren't. I think they were just considered superior in the skirmishing role. You might as well just have loads of little skirmishing units. Actually, no, don't do that. Don't do that.
Why don't I just get loads of skirmishers to go in front of my lines just to piss you off and annoy you with my bolt again? Evil Ken.
Don't worry, we'll have another game, and as I said, I'm not going to use them. I will not use the 95th. I'm just going to take a massive unit of Hanoverian Jaegers because clearly the dice hate Hanoverians.
The Hanoverians have got stuff to live up to, mate. They routed the old guard last time, so
they did. They're good lads. They're good lads.
Just in case the Hanoverian models are listening. Yeah, you're good lads. You're good lads.
All right.
Isn't that a weird thing that in I'm sure you'll have the same thing because we're all wargamers, but how sort of units that are supposed to be rubbish just suddenly become just all conquering, you know, just suddenly, or in game after game after game, they're the one that deliver, and it's like they shouldn't, but they do, and I don't know what it is. It's just one of those weird things in games. It's like
flamethrowers.
It's good. Yeah, flamethrowers.
Well, flamethrowers always deliver,
you were
don't
well
they?
outnumbered. You were well outnumbered in that game, Dom, but we're not going to say the result, but you were well outnumbered.
It was a good game, though, wasn't it? I mean, it was a really nicely balanced scenario, apart from the fact they neglected to say how many turns it should be fought for and what the victory terms were. But actually, in terms of the actual game, was a really clever... It was from the book. It was one from the ICW supplement.
Oh, Glory Hallelujah.
Yeah. And it was a really, really balanced game because Ken outnumbered me by at least 2-1, I'd say. Maybe even more.
Yeah.
But his were fed in over a period of time. So the Rebs were on the table and had to sort of kind of make hay while they could,
Johnny
which
Reb
I did.
Was being aggressive.
Very aggressive.
Johnny Reb was being aggressive.
I should say, without giving the result away, it was a cracking game, and it did go right down to the wire. Although we don't really know what the wire was because there was no bloody time limit on the game.
No. To be fair though, we both had fun, didn't we?
That was good. I enjoyed it. Enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah, it was also the first time I played 15 mil, so there's another first.
There you go.
There's enough.
And now I'm having to rebase them because you did. Buggy.
I really want to try out. I really want to get you guys to try out Fire and Sword because I think you guys will like that. It's just got it's just a really fun system. I've never played anything quite like it. So when next you come down, Ken or Dom, if we ever have a game, or Steve as well, obviously, then we'll have to just try it out because I just like the idea that you can have these massively different armies, as in size wise, and there's a system in there for adding in weather effects, and you can basically make the enemy general drunk, or like someone gets lost on the march. You get reinforcements, so basically as your units are killed, they feed back in, like you just said for that one. You get a certain number of points, like on reconnaissance. So you look at the difference in army points. So if there's like a 10-point difference, you can pick, like, say, you could pick 10 effects that cost 1 point, or you could pick one massive effect that costs 10 points, like there's a storm or something.
Nice.
Before, yeah. It's just a really good game, and it uses a army building system like Flames of War does, with the silhouettes and the boxes from the army books. You remember that?
Right.
It's similar to that, but they have a completely online build. It's just a really fun game, and it's 30 Years War, so it's it's quite. And well, I thought for a long time, it's like, oh, it seems really hard to kill anyone in this game, and then I introduced my mate to it, and he slaughtered me, absolutely slaughtered. Went to salute.
I did do some Ken rolling, didn't I, when we played our game? I did have some moments.
Is that what we're calling it now? Ken rolling?
Ken rolling, go roll.
Oh, you need a load of sixes there, Ken. All right, mate. No worries. To be fair, Dom, you did some good rolling.
My rolling was fine. I can't complain about my well, apart from the command rolls were too bloody high. I was rolling too many sixes, so I kept failing them. That was the only problem with my rolling.
Yeah, it's great. I think it's just people who play against me with command rolls. I'm normally shocking at them, but for some reason when I play someone else, it just especially if you play me at bolt action, you'll be fine. You won't need to worry about that. But no, it was good. But are we still on for November, possibly, Martin? If everything's
yeah. As long as everything's all right, then yes, we are. I just need to sort out. There's one weekend that I can't do, so we'll probably, if we can do like a weekday, like maybe a Friday again, if that's possible, because that was quite easy.
I can let you know the Friday. I can 100% do, because you were on about maybe coming as well, Dom, weren't you?
Depending on when.
Get time off.
Yeah, depending on when.
Yeah, no, that'd be awesome. Sting, are you still on? Are you still locked down?
Yeah, we're still in the bad. It's like Mad Max around here at the moment. It's terrible.
Good film, that.
I don't go outside in case Tina Turner's knocking around or something. But no, we're Master Blasting.
Master Blaster appears.
No, we're still on.
Boo.
Yeah.
Steve, you still not had a game?
The other phrase is grim up north. Yeah, well, it's adequately describing the north at the moment.
What do you know? Yeah. Right, we're going to have Peter's little question of the week. I've just decided about this one. So, his little question of the week is, when playing a game with one or more opponents, do you ever seriously question their tactics as the game progresses, or do you wait till the end? Do you call someone out if they're being a little bit creative with their rules, or do you wait until the end?
Creative.
Well, cheating.
I've played.
Well, I'm assuming he's saying question their tactics, so I'm guessing it's sort of it's a nasty tactic.
I've never played anyone. I've only ever played you lot and Liam. Really, I've never played anyone that's cheated. But Liam can be a bit of a forgiving. He can do that sometimes, definitely. But it's the rules as written. That's his favourite saying. Rules as written.
I played a guy, general measuring and being careful with tokens and ship placement was decidedly dodgy. But it was a tournament, and you don't want to be that guy that as a go.
Trouble,
I mean, I lost the game, but I wasn't gonna. It just annoys me that people feel that they need to cheat it. It's essentially just playing Star Wars toys. That's what pissed me off the most. But no, he's really the only person I've ever come across in many years of gaming that's actually cheated. I know that he was cheating.
Was it deliberate cheat? Was it deliberate? Was it deliberate, Steve? Do you reckon?
Yes, you could tell. Amazing how his ships came so close to an asteroid that was mysteriously bumped across the table. Oh, sorry, mate, I hit the table. It was something like that.
Oh my goodness.
That would rage me. I think I wouldn't rage quit. I think I'd just go, right, I'm off. Go.
He's the guy that the following year, the same tournament, had tabled him in 25 minutes.
So it had a happy ending then.
Yes, I did bide my time for a year, but I got my sweet revenge, and it was good.
I don't think I can think of one guy that I've played, and I really like him, but just when it came down to the game, it was horrific. It was Warhammer Fantasy. There were two things that happened. One, I'd let like a lot of things go. Like, I don't care, half an inch, that don't bother me too much. Oh, that eagle's flying there, is it? Oh, okay, right. That's the thing now. Or his models weren't glued into the bases, so they would just kind of tumble forwards, and then when he realigned them, I'm sure the unit had moved 2 inches forward. But there were two things that happened. I remember, because I had Dark Elves, and my Dark Elf assassin, they hide in the units, didn't they? And you'd write down on the piece of paper that they were hidden, like in the Black Orc unit, or in this case, some kind of stupid High Elf unit. I revealed him, and he quickly turned around and stabbed said mage in the face. So I rolled, and the assassins have the poison rule. Sorry, I have been dwelling on this for about 15 years. And, and they had the poison roll, and the rule was, on a roll of 6, you automatically wound the opponent, right? That's the poison rule.
Right.
So I rolled, and I got triple sixes, which Ken, you'll appreciate, doesn't happen to me very often. He goes, yeah, but this character, whoever it was, he's immune to poison, so those hits don't count. I'm like, well, no, surely I just rolled to wound. I'll accept that he's immune to poison, but he's still got a knife in him. Like, what does he do? Is there just a hole appear? He stabs through him, and then it closes like the T-1000 or something from Terminator. Like, what is it? And he just wouldn't have it. He just would not have it. I was like, so basically, you've just nullified a 200-point character. I have to roll a 4 or a 5 exactly, a 6. It was bizarre. And then the same guy, I remember casting a spell with like the fireball spell, and you could overcharge the spells, couldn't you? You could go for like a bigger casting value to try and do something. So I got this spell off, and whatever the best fire spell was, like fireball or something normally, and then firestorm. So I did it. It moved all over his units, and he goes, "Well, it doesn't do anything to the units. It just shows where it ends up." Like, but what's the point in that? I've just made it so it moves randomly then. And he wouldn't have it, and I just wouldn't have it. If someone's making a tactical move where, I don't know, maybe it's a bit questionable. Sometimes I'll go, "You sure you want to do that?" If I think there's someone they've forgot, if they're about to, charge headlong at something that's going to annihilate, and I think that they've not realised or forgotten that, say, some unit, I'll be like, "Are you sure you want to do that?"
Yeah.
But then I think that comes down to we've talked about it before, more like a gaming etiquette. Because
I did it with you the other night, didn't I, Dom? I said you forgot about that, mate, didn't I? And it caused me to get casualties. Do you remember? What was it? It was something stupid. And you went, "Oh yeah, cheers for reminding me." And then
I blew you away.
Yeah.
I think actually that's what. To be fair, I think I misinterpreted Peter's question. That's more what he was talking about when you're playing somebody and they do something that really they didn't mean to do. Would you carry on? Let them carry on making a mistake, or would you actually step in and sort of say, "Actually, I think you got that wrong. Might want to do X, Y, and Z."
If I'm playing bolt action against Ian, my regular opponent, it's it's less of a game and more of a sort of a narrative game. We don't call each other out on rules. We'll remind each other, that unit's there, that does that. It's I don't know. I wouldn't take it. Yeah, I wouldn't take anything good away from a game if I knew that I'd. I think I'd just say no. It's this way and not that way, or I don't know. I wouldn't go away with For me, the best when you've had a good game of bolt action is when you've both enjoyed it, regardless of the result, and you've had a good time. If I beat someone because they've misunderstood something or they just made a complete tactical nous up.
I think that's a good thing. I mean, like,
depends on what scene you're playing as well, though. If you're playing in a tournament,
then you wouldn't,
and it's got a lot of prize. It's a lot of prize money. Then
but that's
making a mistake.
That's the deal. Like you say, that's big game of black powder, and I just like there are a couple of times. Like there are a couple of times where I think I reminded you about your cannons. You reminded me about my rocket. We forgot. But what again? It comes down to do I want this person to play the game again? What I think there's in one of the local clubs to here. There's a guy who's quite big on the bolt action tournament scene, and he's amazing. And he just wants people to play him, and he just likes absolutely annihilating them. And it'll get to sort of turn 4 and it's over, but he won't let them leave. Like they want to quit. They want to, they've had enough, and he just won't let them until he's absolutely to the point where no one wants to play him.
Good, all right. So it's at the end of the day, it is a you play it friendly, but it's still you want to win. And the rules, there are things that people get wrong or they assume something's going to happen in a given scenario where they just haven't. They've either misinterpreted or they're just on a wing and a prayer kind of thing. Surely that's part of the game, right? If they screw it up, a general, I'm trying to think of a historical example, but where somebody makes a tactical error on the battlefield and your opponent leaps on it.
Napoleon at Waterloo.
Yeah.
Marshal Ney at Waterloo sending the cavalry infantry support.
That kind of thing, yeah. I mean, it's, a good general leaps on it, right?
I think you're right, but I think everyone can generally tell the difference between like a tactical error and this person's forgotten how to play all of a sudden.
It just lost the will to live on it.
Depends who you're playing. It just depends who you're playing.
I think that's what it comes down to.
If you're playing your regular buddy, I think it's just a mutual thing that you're not an arsehole to each other because you want to play in future.
I don't know. If you field a battalion of riflemen, you might see a different version.
No more Mr. Nice, Martin.
Oh yeah, no, but that's the I get the special dice then, the ones that seem a bit heavier on one side.
Love it.
Phil from Wargamers Anonymous, it's just said in ours group it's pretty relaxed, and then sometimes they call big boy rules.
Yeah, big boy rules.
Big boy rules. I love it. Yeah. Well, it's difficult, isn't it? I mean, it's where you draw the line, right? And where we all want to have a damn good game, and most of us probably only, if we're lucky, you get one game a week. Probably not even that. Some people, and it's ultra competitive. They want to. All they care about is win. It doesn't matter what else. And
I'm just happy if both people have a good time.
That's it.
If you both have a good time, it doesn't matter who wins, does it? It's more about the Italians coming back and rallying and holding the whole thing together for the French when you wouldn't expect them to normally. Not saying the Italians run away very often, but
we won't.
See that's why I love playing Blood Bowl. It's impossible to have a bad game of Blood Bowl because it is such a funny game to play. It's just unpredictable. It's over the top. It's completely outside of any kind of serious game. I absolutely love playing it because you generally walk away from a game of Blood Bowl thinking that was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed that.
They're having a big discussion in my thread about the new Warlord resin. NI Miniatures is here. Hello, Jay. Sorry, I didn't see you drop in. And Daniel Rodriguez Gallardo said, I guess they're just talking about, is it any good? I know Jay's done a video on what he thinks of the resin, which basically informed what I would think of the resin. So I haven't bought it. But
depends what it's for, Martin. Because you know, those cavalry, yeah, they were shocking. But I'll tell you what, the SPQR archers, I thought they were fine. Honestly, I really did. I thought they were absolutely fine. I didn't see an issue with them. Everyone seems to be a bit controversial with this cavalry at the minute, which is fine.
Yeah.
If Warlord had done a shit job with it, they've done a shit job. It's simple, isn't it?
Yeah. They just said in here, just Epic Joey's just dropped in and said hello. Hello, dude. It's been, I haven't seen you for a while. They've just said on here, so do you feel like Warlord Games are testing the use of, sorry, this is a bit off from what we were talking about. He said, is they testing the use of the resin onto their second line games, like SPQR, Black Powder and that, before they then introduce it into the bolt action?
Of course,
I'm sure they will,
because they're not going to just release it on their core stuff. It makes no business sense to do that. That's business 101. Oh, don't get me wrong. At the end of the day, I wouldn't mind the machine gun team, the mortar team, being in resin to metal. At the end of the day, it wouldn't bother me. There's other manufacturers, the Assault Group, they do, like I've said a million times, yeah, if you're going to get a machine gun team, a German MG42, you go to the Assault Group, because that thing is awesome. The bipod and the gun are on one piece and it looks amazing, and it's solid. And same with their Japanese machine guns. If I had the choice between it, so it's a bit more unique than just the standard German one. Have you checked them out yet, Steve?
Yeah, I had a look at them when you recommended them the other week. Yeah, very much of that opinion. I think they would fit in really well. There's a lot of character to them as well, which I really like. Yeah. Because that's what you want in your bolt action armies is character. But no, I would definitely consider for support options.
Exactly, mate. It's something a bit different, you know, because everyone's got their medium machine gun in it, and you know, there's nothing wrong with the Warlord kit. It's a nice kit. It's fine. It does what it says on the tin. Yeah. But sometimes it's nice to have unique models. And let's be honest, everyone's not saying. I don't know anyone in this hobby that just buys Warlord games. I generally don't. I don't know anybody. I know we all shop about a little bit different, you know, depending on what's going on. But for God's sake, they're mates with Michael and Alan Berry.
Well, you can see in their rulebook it's a mixture of miniatures.
Yeah, they sell Perry. Oh. They sell Perry stuff on their website. And it's like when we had the Perry going to go competitive.
They're a business at the end of the day, and you know they've got to make decisions. I know, you know how it feels sometimes. You've got to you make business decisions, which you know problems. I mean, yeah, you know if those cavalry are,
if it doesn't, like you're saying, they'll revert back to metal. Simple. Yeah. The product doesn't get better and it holds negative views and people. But the thing is, instead of people, you know, if you're generally unhappy with cavalry, I was a little bit disappointed with it. Was looking forward to it. You know, give them some feedback. It don't have to all be neggy. Just say I just sort of felt a little bit disappointed about it. And then you never know, 40 or 50 people message them. Which is, hang on a minute, let's have another look at those cavalry, and then take another look at it and go, oh, actually, yeah, the mold's not the greatest on that.
Well, you say that though, Ken. So many people complained about those Victory at Sea hovercraft ships. But they still did them. They sold out. Because
people complained about them. But at the same time, I had loads of. I thought I was like on the camp of everyone hates them. But I had loads of people telling me, like in the World War II naval group I'm in, they actually quite like it because it reminds them of model making. So you've got people that like it and people that don't. But if it's down to a general. That wasn't a quality of the actual model, was it, per se? The model itself.
It was a design choice.
It was a design choice. It was a design choice they took.
If it's down to like a quality sort of thing, then that's a bit different. If like the resin ship was floppy or something like that, it was bent the wrong way. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, if you think it's a bit shocking, it's actually generally put you off buying it. Why don't you message them? It's not going to be any. I don't think it'd be any harm. I think they probably appreciate the feedback. To be honest.
Yeah, I still like Wall. I mean, to be fair, I play their games. They're
games.
You know, they're and a Black Powder gets quite because like well, you know, I won't go into it too much, but I think among the Napoleonic community, it gets a bit of hard, and I love it. It's exactly what you need.
Yeah, I was very sad though when I got this box through because they've got a sticker on them now. I'll show you. I don't know if you guys can see said sticker. Can you see that?
Yeah, lead free.
Lead free. No, it's not. I want to take that sticker off. So there is no lead in there, but yeah, no, I love Warlord games. They're brilliant. I'll tell you what, they're not. You know, me and Games Workshop nowadays don't get on at all. I've gone off that sore subject. Old Games Workshop, happy days. Yeah. New Games Workshop, great for getting people in the hobby, rip off in price, in my opinion. But that's my opinion. That's why I'll never, ever be affiliated.
He's on again.
He's wrong now. They try and rip people off, Dom. I just think it's wrong. I think it's wrong because you know that models don't cost that much, and it's just wrong. Especially when the pressure. It seems to be GW pressure towards kids as well. It's, you know.
Sorry.
Go on.
I was going to say, if you're feeling very sort of bloody-minded or you want to be enraged, and it's entirely up to you, there's a video on YouTube of a guy who worked there as a manager, and he basically spends an hour spilling the beans on all the corporate side of it, and at the end of it, he's like, he said the hobby, great, the law, great, the people, great, and then he just kind of goes on to the corporate kind of stuff. I'll find it and send it to you. I actually sat and listened to it, and by the end of it, I was like, sort of like, oh Jesus! I'm actually feel quite annoyed. I'm gonna go for a bit of a walk. Well,
yeah,
but you know, they have shareholders and they have a stock price now. They have an obligation as a company to expand their business because that's what you have to do for your shareholders. And they're not doing anything wrong.
They've gone mainstream.
They're just milking.
Mainstream, haven't they?
They're just mainstream, exactly. And if you don't like it, just don't buy their stuff. Simple as that.
That's it. That being said, they're doing animation. See, I still really like all of the lore and the background. I think it's brilliant. And they're doing and they've released a thing this week for all the animations that they're going to do, which I will completely watch. I'll totally watch. I'm listening to a 40k audiobook at the minute.
Which one are you listening to? Is it Horror
no, it's Black Legion.
Oh, Black Legion. Oh, okay.
I'm up to date with all the Horus Heresy stuff. So
yeah, I'm in the middle of
I'm the same. I still like the lore, and I still read the books, but I won't give them any money.
Nah, I'll give second-hand market. No, I'll give the second-hand market some money for the old school kits. Steve, we'll have to have a game of Epic, mate, one day. Me and you, I've got 2 armies. We'll have to have a game, mate. Second edition. We'll have to have a game. I've got all the terrain and everything. I built a load of terrain for it.
Yeah.
When we come up Nottingham, we would have to have a game, mate, because it would be good.
I love that. I love that game.
Yeah, it's a good game. It's a really good game.
Yeah. No, it is. I'm sorry, I've just seen Miller in my chat. I thought I forgot that myself because he did a video because he's trying to build the fellowship. You know that base that the fellowship goes on. He's building it up for a present for his wife. I'm assuming his wife doesn't watch this, so she's not. I'd be very surprised. So it's not going to spoil anything. But if he wants the new plastic fellowship for night, you get his 30 quid for all 9, and it's just the old. I think it's the old sculpt. No, it can't be the old sculpts because they would be, what do you call it? The
Finecast.
Yeah, that was their one. See, I actually don't think. See, I've got the Aowen one here, and these sculpts I really like. The new Lord of the Rings ones. They're a bit different because they're. I don't know what it is about these. I'm quite happy to play for these.
They're CAD, aren't they?
Yeah.
Done by a computer. It's like that Smart, isn't it? Michael and Alan Perry did that. Alan did the base, didn't he, with all the coins. He sculpted it traditionally, and then Michael did the actual dragon. So he did Smart, and it's CAD, isn't it? So it's a mixture. And it was really weird, actually. I found it really weird to say that was one of his favourite models. That is to do. I was really interested by that. That was really cool. But yeah, I don't know, guys. I don't know. It's one of those things. This Games Workshop, we could talk about it forever, and I don't think it's like you say. It's not a bad thing. It's like I know the manager down in the Portsmouth one down here, and he's really not getting people into the hobby. I just don't feel the corporate way I can support that anymore, which is fair enough. I just like the old stuff. Like I say, Epic. I love it. I'll tell you what, Steve, I'll have to send you some epic stuff, man. Or join the epic, or that's what you want to do, Steve, is join the epic buy and sell group. You can pick up a little army on there, mate, for like 20, 30 quid.
Yeah, I might do that. I'd love to recreate. When I played it back in the early 90s, I had a huge Crimson Fist army. And then I traded something in for my mate's Chaos army, and I had a big Chaos army. It was just that we used to play it every Sunday afternoon around my mate's house. And I don't know, it was just it just reminds me of like really good gaming days.
Reminds me of the books, like the Horus Heresy books, because you can play
yes.
so many units in a game, get Titans on the field and stuff like that as well, which is really nice.
The halcyon days.
You never played any of that, did you?
No, never did. Well, I played a bit of it, 40k for a short while, but it wasn't for me, mate. It really wasn't for me. I don't much like that sort of game. Doesn't do it for me. Never has done.
No. Maybe
I still think the original 40k Rogue Trader, that was a game and a half. I did enjoy playing that.
I'll send you a link after this. You might have seen it, Steve, but there's you ever watch Snipe and Wib?
Oh yes.
Yeah, they did a couple of Rogue Traders, 21 things that are really funky about Rogue Trader. They've done 2 parts.
I think I've seen it.
Yeah, it's about 40 minutes of it. It's pretty good.
I think I've seen it.
Yeah. Yeah, you can still get that rule book from Warhammer World. They actually have it in there. You can actually buy it. The Rogue Trader rule book. Which is quite cool. But yeah,
I forgot my copy.
Oh, you still got
the illustration? The illustrations in the original 40k book are absolutely. It's like taking a huff on toilet duck and then reading a sci-fi book. That's what the original 40k book for me is like.
I love it.
Don't do toilet duck, kids. It's bad.
Kaiser's just dropped in.
Yeah, he's on my chat too.
Advantage.
Just saying it right there. Yeah.
Just pop it in, hit the like button on the video. Cheers, mate. Thank you very much. But yeah, no, I think what we could do next week, because it's been a while. We did it back in like episode 4. We spoke about nostalgia, didn't we? Maybe next week we could actually do a proper episode, because there's all 4 of us this time. It was only me and you last time, Dom, wasn't it? Maybe we could do a nostalgia episode.
We can double the nostalgia.
What do you think in the chat? Yeah.
So Kaiser is asking me in the chat. So what happened to the Mantic Orcs I was painting? Back in the box with the is it back in the box with the other half finished projects? Well, actually, Ken, would you like to deal with this one? Yeah, it's because I've done loads of them. I'm just waiting for my opponent to paint up more of his blinking Oathguard army so we can have another game of it. Because
well, technically we can now, because I forgot. Well, I've got the humans, haven't I? So we can actually have another game. I've got another 60 guys.
There you go. You heard it there, Kaiser. We were both doing Oathmark armies, and mine was a core of orcs. I painted everything that Ken sent me. It's all ready to go, and I also painted. I've also got a load more actually, which I haven't got round to painting because we weren't going to play any games of it for a while. So at some point we will have another game of it, and I probably have a few dwarves now as well.
Yeah, I'm thinking maybe like. It is another subject. Is do you plan your hobby year out at the start of the year what you want to achieve? So like, could you say for the first 3 months what you want to achieve in that, and then maybe 6 months? So like this, Dom, realistically, Oathmark for me, I would say realistically we're probably looking at for us to have a proper game of it maybe next year. So like I don't know, around January sort of time, maybe February. Because at the minute I've got
busy, mate.
These I'm doing 6 mil, and then I'm doing bolt action. And then by that time you might come around and think, oh, happy days, I fancy a bit of fantasy again. You know what I mean? Just planning it out a little bit.
No,
I don't. One of those sort of people that's spur of the moment.
I don't plan. I'm a spur of the moment kind of person. It's usually driven by what my mates are playing at the time, and if there's a new rule set that I fancy the look of, then I'll do that. But I don't plan my life, let alone my hobby life, for going out.
I was about to say this is spoken by a man who clearly doesn't have children.
No. Exactly right. 100%.
100%.
You. All I can say is you enjoy that. The kids are great, but you enjoy that. You wait till they're in here going, Daddy, can we paint something? These are your models. Why is this one bending? Is it meant? Why is that broken, Daddy? Oh.
Is that supposed to come off, Daddy?
Yeah, that's
hence I've prepared. See, I've said to Laura that I get the man shed. It's out of bounds.
They'll find a way. It doesn't mean they find a way.
They won't. They won't.
They do. They do. They'll tunnel under it. It'll be like the reverse Great Escape. They
or the guild.
Tell him.
He's not wrong. He's not wrong.
What you do, you will open that door to go and get something, right? And you'll come back and
each other to see how high a tower they can make, and they'll be throwing marbles at it, and you'll love it.
Death will come swiftly to my children. I'll just say that.
No. I remember the guy who I play against really regularly. He had a whole orc army, Warhammer orc army, and he painted it amazingly. He had like the big metal dragons, the massive wyverns, all that kind of stuff, and he had them in like a display case in his room. And it was just pretty large cabinet, and his son opened the cabinet door and then was swinging on the door like this, and then the whole thing went over like that. And my mate said he just stood there in the ruins of his hobby. This was quite after not long after he'd been in the hobby. He sat there, and I think he did have like a single tear roll down his face as he looked down at all of the shattered metal.
I'd have more than a single tear. That child would be going to bed with no tea.
We can do a public service announcement here, because Kaiser's just said his son broke several of his bolt action vehicles. He was frustrated that wheels didn't turn, no matter how hard he tried that. The way to avoid that is to base your vehicles. It's no problem at all, then, is it?
No, I've got the perfect way to avoid that. Don't have any kids. There you go.
There is that as well.
That's the extreme version.
That is the ultimate way.
Just base your vehicles, because Ken loves based vehicles, so it's all good.
That only took 1 hour and 53 minutes today.
We have to get that in at one point during the webcast, don't we?
End up having children. Don't get me wrong, it's going to happen. But
you don't have any choice, mate.
So sad.
Yeah, you won't have a choice. He does, yeah. Epic Joey said he's going to put a lock on his train room door the moment he becomes a father. It won't matter.
No, it doesn't matter. Honestly, it doesn't matter. It
doesn't matter. You don't. It won't matter. They find a way. They just do.
I just love it how this comes from you, Mike. And you're like, yep, it's gonna happen. I've met your daughter as well, and she is cracking. She is hilarious.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. I just think this whole, you just got to accept it. It will happen at some point. Do your best to avoid it. Where you're a bit hungover, you're a bit tired or something. That'll be the day. And it'll also be like you'll have had a crap day at work as well. It'll just be the final.
Final nail.
I remember years ago, because I collect Star Wars Lego. And I've got I've got a huge Millennium Falcon in my living room. I've actually got an original Millennium Falcon in my living room as well. That's a different story. I was in Toys R Us one night, and the girlfriend asked, how did my trip to Toys R Us go? I went, it was brilliant, but the place was full of kids, and they ruined my visit to Toys R Us.
Love it.
Just want to be a small child again.
That's all we want. That's why we're wargamers. Well, that's why men generally just want to be small children, but particularly wargamers, I think. Black Knight says, Battle Knight says,
trying to convince you Mr. to marry her. That's always a cracker.
Oh God, no.
No, definitely not. Go on, sorry.
Battle Knight said he had a kid who ran into one of his roof glass, like a frigging bomb went off.
I wouldn't have done. I would have looked at it like, hello, there's a nice paycheck coming there, because hello, Daddy, you're paying for all that. Sold as seen, my friend. Sold as seen.
These days you'd probably get charged for it, wouldn't you? You'd probably get some kind of health and safety thing on you.
Yeah, that's Miller has said he gave his boy a load of his old models that had bits broken or unpainted, and he thought, there you go, you can't do any more damage with them. He didn't know a model could get any more broken. he still made him wait to pick them up. Mid games said he was on the bus home from work. Little small kid looks at him and then starts crying, absolutely crazy. His mother turns around, checked, and got angry and upset, saying, "What did I do?"
He watched the Plastic Crack podcast.
There we go.
So he did.
Oh dear.
Oh god.
Horrible things, kids.
Cheekies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Putting around your collection anyway.
Oh, don't make me feel sick, please. Seriously, don't. It just makes me cringe. Seriously, it makes me cringe.
What's
it
that?
really does. It just thinking about children breaking my models. Oh no.
I was just thinking about something else. In Oathmark, you can use whatever you like, can't you?
You can. Yeah.
That's so random.
Well, no, it just thought. I just thought. It is dumb. Can you not just take in some of your old guard in your human army and just have them marching that like the French invading is
You can't have any gunpowder weapons.
Use my 100 Years War stuff as
Of course
well.
you could, mate. Oh, bloody hell, you're hopeless.
Is that your massive 100 Years War? Is that your fully complete 100 Years War army?
Excuse me, it says an English army in the box, and I've finished it. So.
What about the cavalry? What about that cavalry?
Fuck off, mine.
Oh dear. Yeah, that you can use. You can use
What about
anything.
your cavalry, Martin? Hang on, what about your cavalry? Yeah,
What
exactly.
cavalry? What cavalry?
What, the 60 cavalry you've got sat there? Just like
60, that's generous. I've got 2, 12, 24, 36, 48, 60.
120, 140, 160.
Those two.
God.
About 100.
Exactly.
Oh no, but there's stuff in that pike and shot box as well. Yeah, a few.
There you go. You lecturing me about
cavalry.
12. Jesus.
Steve, bring some sanity here. Bring some sanity, Steve.
Cheval.
It's good, dude. It's motivational.
Yeah, it's motivational. But in all honesty, though, guys, did you really think I'd probably get as much of this done as I have so far?
What, your naps?
Yeah,
I thought
do you think I'd break?
Genuinely, I thought once you got into a rhythm with it, you'd be fine. I think because you needed to break. I think you needed to see that it wasn't the horror show that you thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
That being said, I know that the cavalry nearly did break you. So
It did.
You know.
But I think the motivation of playing a game or two of it makes a big difference, doesn't it? Once you've played it and you think, oh, I'd like to play this some more, then that helps. I mean, you can't. I defy anybody to spend a huge amount of time building a big army if you haven't got that target of a game or a particular system you want to play or something to aim for. If you're just building it almost for the sake of it, it's really hard to keep that motivation, especially something like Napoleonics that you may have never have done before. It's hard.
Yeah, I literally can't wait to get a game in with these. I'm seriously looking forward to it.
You'll bring those ones down with you, won't you? Or up, sorry.
Yeah, of course I will. Yeah,
Good.
Jesus.
Good.
Jesus Christ. I'm not going to bloody not do it. I can't wait to get... That's why I really want to do the Commander. I really want to take the time and do the Commander. I'm going to do him over a whole week. I'm going to really take the time with the base. Steve's going to be proud of me. I'm going to take the time with the base. I'm not just going to Luke APS it. I'm actually going to do some little scenery. I'm going to put some badgers and some burrows
badgers?
and like that on there and stuff. Yeah, he's going to be there having a tea party.
So speaking of basing, Miller has set me a challenge for one of my display bases, my Stalingrad Germans, and it's to try and get some form of Russian onto one of the bases, like he's hiding. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a head sticking out of a manhole.
Oh, I like that.
That's quite a good idea.
I think that's a really good idea. I look forward to that.
That is a really good idea.
That's a hell of a good challenge. I like that one.
Is there any World War II game where you need ambush markers? Do you need that in chain of command or anything like that?
Action.
Yes.
Action, you technically need them as well.
But I was just thinking, could you get, because I know there's some third party, well, I say third, they're not third party, but there's some companies that make German casualties. Could you just have like a bunch of Russian casualties and you have the sniper lying on top of them, like in Enemy at the Gates? Like, so he's mixed in with the dead bodies. I was just I don't know, it's kind of.
Tell you what, making these display bases, that's a. No one, I don't think it's probably not normal to get that excited about making bases, but those two, I absolutely loved them. There was just such.
It is with you, Steve.
Just, but speaking of which, I've just literally finished painting this. Putting the last details on this Napoleonic British, and I think I'm going to batch paint the rest of them tomorrow.
Hey, good.
I actually really enjoyed painting that, and it's come out really quite well.
Well, I've got some Brits. I'm going to send them to you and commission you to paint them because I don't really fancy painting the Brits.
I'll do the same, mate. I'll do the same. That'd be handy if you could do that. Feel free to send me French and I'll do those.
I'm still working on my Perry's French. I've still got 6 more of them to do.
You can do it. You can do it. You can do it, mate. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. But no, guys, it's getting towards that time. Near enough. We're about to end the set. But no, it's been a good session tonight. I think. No, it's been nice. But like I say, next week's going to be all about nostalgia. I think. I think we'll do that.
Goodness,
Nostalgia. What is it? Do we get nostalgic or just talking about old games?
It's just the 4 of us old gits are looking up into the distance, going, "Oh, I remember it well."
Okay.
Yeah. That'll be one to watch, folks. Tune in for that one. Oh my god.
Yeah. So has anyone got anything they want to dramatically say before we finish?
Only that Leslie sent a cracking question in, which I forwarded to you guys, but I don't think you saw it in time. But we'll do it next week, and it will take a bit of thinking about. But it's probably you have to be in good humour for it because it's a bit grisly and sad. So I'll leave you to that one.
Grisly and sad. Well, that sounds like if you do it on the nostalgia thing. No, it'll
actually, it's ideal.
A whiskey one.
Oh god, yeah, we'll get the whiskey on the go. That's a good idea.
I'll get the whiskey.
Yeah, I'm going to rock up with Scotch and a couple of Leonard Cohen albums.
How about your pipe? Get your pipe going. I could see you with a pipe, Steve. I don't know why.
Yeah,
a pipe.
Yeah.
But even he's like, what?
I've never seen. No. I can honestly say I don't think. I like the smell of a pipe, but the thought of smoking one, no.
Me and my scented candle instead. I'll tell you what, I've started doing that, and I've put in a scented candle to diffuse the room. So it's a nice
goodness,
thing.
Ken.
But yeah,
what's
guys.
happening to you?
Well, yeah, no, it's crazy. It's crazy. What's she doing to me? Right then, so thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you again very soon. And bye bye for now, guys. We'll see you again next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye for now. Where's my off button?